This wireless lavalier microphone costs less than £40, but is it any good? Let's find out. So I was sent this microphone by FiFine Technology for an honest review, so all thoughts and opinions are going to be my own, and I will highlight any good points as well as any bad points, if any. So that being said, let's take a look at what comes in the box. So first off, the actual packaging of the box is quite nice and has quite a good premium feel to it. Nice white box in black font. Looks quite good. So included in the box are a few components, mainly being the receiver and the transceiver, the microphone, there's a wireless headset and a couple of cables to give you various connection options, whether you're connecting the microphone to your camera or to a PA system or an external audio recorder. All options are covered, which is a nice touch. The transceiver and the receiver are made from plastic, which it's not the best plastic, but definitely not the worst. It certainly doesn't feel like a premium product, but it's perfectly adequate, I'd say. So something to note is that one of the units takes AAA batteries and the other takes AA batteries, which is a bit odd, but once you know, you know. So once you have installed the batteries, setting up the system is actually pretty straightforward. Simply turn on both units until the light turns red, as you see there. When this is off, the light's green, and when it's receiving a signal, it turns red, like so. So that's it, ready to be plugged in and receive audio. Once the red light is on, just simply attach the receiver to the camera using the 1/4" jack or the cables provided. So up until this point, the audio that you have been hearing has been coming from the Rode Video Micro, which is my usual go-to microphone. However, now I've turned the mic off and the audio you are hearing is coming directly from the camera's built-in microphones. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the lavalier mic and the wireless system and see what difference that makes to the sound quality. So I've now plugged the microphone in, and the audio you're now hearing is coming from the lavalier mic right here. As yet I've not plugged in the microphones, so I have no idea which sounds better. The obvious advantage to having the wireless system is that I do not have to be close to the camera like I do when I'm using the Rode Video Micro, as it very much depends on the distance to the microphone on how good the sound quality is going to be. So FiFine claim that the lavalier microphone is usable with a 40 to 60 foot range away from the receiver. So we're going to have to go outside to test that claim. Let's go ahead and do that now. Guys, before we head out, I've just realised that the kitchen is a terrible location for recording audio and for doing any sort of audio tests, as it's a big empty room, there's no soft furnishings in there, there's nothing to absorb the sound, and everything was just echoing and booming all over the place. So I'm back in the office and we're just going to do some quick audio samples to hear the microphone on and off. So the mics you're hearing just now are coming from the camera's own built-in microphones, and it sounds like this basically. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the lavalier mic and we're going to take a look at what that sounds like. So the audio you're now hearing is coming from the lavalier mic, and there's no audio presets or anything like that. This is straight from the mic directly into the camera, and this is what it sounds like. For comparison, I'm just going to do some tweaking to the audio settings, add some preamps and some compression, maybe boost the bass a little, and we're going to see if we can get a really good sound quality from this microphone, and it sounds like this. So hopefully that was enough of a comparison to show you what the camera's built-in microphone sounds like compared to the lavalier microphone, and then the lavalier with some tweaking to the audio settings. So let's head to the park and see what kind of range we can get out of the wireless system. Let's go. Okay guys, we are now outside and we are absolutely surrounded by wildlife, but that's not why we're here. We're here to test the mic and see how it works outside and give it a long range test. So as you can see, I'm pretty close to the camera, but I'm arm's width away from the camera just now, but I'm just going to start slowly walking back into the trees and we'll see how the signal gets on.
So it's worth mentioning that the microphone does rely on line of sight, so as long as I stay in front of it we should be good for quite a wee while, but as soon as I start to go behind trees I suspect we're going to lose a bit of signal. But let's check it out and see. Okay, I'm now about 10 feet away from the camera. Okay, so just look back at the footage and unfortunately the mic lost connection. I don't know why. I'm thinking that this should have a light on here to let me know that it's recording. When I'm looking at the audio levels just now, it's saying it's picking up a signal, but after I passed 10 feet it just cut out altogether, so I'm going to go and try again and see if we can get that audio range back. So not sure what's going on. Both units have full battery, so it's not that. Let's see. I think I was about here the last time when I lost all signal, so I'll just head further again. Again, no idea if I'm getting any signal to you guys, but I'm about 35-40 feet away next to this weird fungus looking thing on the tree here. I'm going to head back behind the trees where I might lose signal. Okay, there's still quite a few obstacles in between me and the camera, but hopefully you can still hear me okay. I've got a good line of sight to the camera, but we'll head back further into the woods. Okay, we've now got trees in between myself and the camera, but I can still see it, hopefully. Working my way back to the camera, hopefully that has actually recorded and I've not just wasted my time twice. If I have, then I'm going to have to put it down as a fail, unfortunately. I can still see the red light on the receiver, so it should in theory be recording. Just going to make my way behind the camera and see if we're still getting an audio signal, which we are. So I don't know how much of that worked and how much was audible. The audio meter on the monitor still showing that we are receiving audio, so I'm hoping that it has in fact worked, but I have no idea the quality of the audio, whether there's been any breakouts due to the distance and the obstacles between us. So I'm going to head back to the studio, have a look and okay, we're back in the studio and quite a lot has changed since we started filming this video, mainly the lockdown. So I actually started this video a good few weeks ago, hence my hair's longer, beard's longer, all that stuff. Anyway, that being said, I have had more time to spend with the microphone, and early on I wasn't particularly impressed with the quality that I was getting, but I think it was actually more to do with errors I was making in terms of setting the microphone up. I had no experience with a lav mic before, so I think it's quite important to spend a bit of time to get the settings right in the camera. Pay attention to the levels you're getting for the audio meter, make sure it's not peaking. I think that was the issue I was getting with the distortion, so I'm having a look now. We're just kind of hitting about -12, which you don't really want to go above that when you're recording audio, or you will get those distorted clips and you cannot get those back in post-production. So have your audio set a little bit lower and you should get a better sound. So I'm going to plug the camera in to the computer, have a listen, download the footage and have a listen and see if it's any better now. Having spent a bit of time with the microphone, I think I can make a couple of assumptions and give you my verdict on whether this is a good value microphone for money. And we'll actually start with the money. This costs around about £30, but you're not going to get amazing quality for that kind of money, but also the quality that you're getting from this microphone, I would say, exceeds the £30 price mark, definitely. On to the build quality. It is plastic, it's a kind of cheap plastic, but it works fine. You know, the design's not maybe the best with the weird antenna and the different batteries that each unit takes is not ideal, but I think if you look after them, they will be absolutely fine. From a user's perspective, I've got to give them full credit here. It just works. You switch on both units, they pair instantly. Doesn't matter what frequency you set, it just links and it just works. So 10 out of 10 in that respect. As for the sound quality, like I mentioned earlier, it's going to take a bit of practice and a bit of getting used to, but I think if you set your levels correctly, do a bit of tweaking in post-production, you can get a really good sound quality from this microphone. Now, I think the biggest downside to the microphone is actually the mic itself. It has a strange connection. It's like a micro XLR, which there are not many microphones that you can replace. So if this breaks, you're going to have to probably replace the full unit, and at 30 quid, that's not a big deal. I think the microphone is probably the weakest link in the whole system. Now, if you had the ability to change the lav mic for another one, a higher quality one, you'd have a really good system, because the distance was great, the usability and the connection of the units is actually really very good. So all in all, for a 30 quid unit, very impressed. I would definitely recommend for YouTubers, anytime you want to do a bit of talking to the camera but you're just that bit further away, definitely consider the FiFine lavalier mic. At this price point, I don't think there's a lot of competition, especially for a lavalier mic system. The Rode Video Micro, which is a shotgun style mic, which is what I normally use, is round about £30–35, but it's just a different style of microphone. It relies on you being close to the camera. So if you need to get away from your camera, if you are filming any sort of topic that requires you to move around a lot or just get further away from the camera, then the lavalier from FiFine Technology is a good place to start. Would I recommend it for professional use? Probably not. I would probably not use this to mic up guests at a wedding. However, in a pinch, it would be a perfectly good backup, as long as you know its limitations and get your audio levels set up correctly before you record. Likewise, save some presets to the computer and you should have a pretty good sound that you can work with. So there you have it. That concludes the review of the FiFine wireless lav mic system. All in all, a good system for the money. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Stay safe.